Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the Luke Skywalker Mighty Mugg, the new Mighty Muggs, not the old ones, obviously, clearly. These came out in the month of January, and I was pretty eagerly awaiting them, to be quite honest, because I was a huge fan of the original Mighty Muggs right at the peak of my collecting. It was like super big for me, loved them so much. Another thing was, though, that Mighty Muggs were like the very beginning of the vinyl phase. You know, now we have Vinylmations for Disney, and most notably we have Funko Pops, which are, a lot of them are vinyl. So Mighty Muggs actually were pretty iconic at the time. They were definitely the pop of the early 2000s, or the mid 2000s, I should say. Super popular, very collectible, and then, you know, obviously they kind of faded out, and I still have some remaining that I just really love because I just love the way they look. But they've apparently gone and redone them, as you can see. So they come like this in this really cool plastic case, which I really like because it's reusable. Before that we got, you know, cardboard boxes, and a lot of things still come like that, but this is actually hard plastic, and then it's got a hole in the top that you can spin the head with. I'll show you that feature here in a moment, but just looking at the packaging, they put the sticker on crooked, which kind of sucks. I really like the multicolor Mighty Muggs logo. I think it looks really cool. It says Luke Skywalker. And then you've got this like paper background in the back that goes all the way around. It doesn't show anything in the wave, even though there was a wave that came out with like Luke and I think Darth Vader and Chewbacca and Rey, but I definitely liked Luke. I really wanted him. Luke's one of my favorite characters. It comes taped at the bottom, so you can't remove the base, but in mine I've untaped it since, so you can take off that part. These are really good if you want to store them in their packaging. So there's that like that. And then he doesn't come off quite yet because you actually have to unscrew these little things at the bottom, which I generally don't show you how to, like, the opening process for things. But this one's kind of weird. So I just took a butter knife and I followed the instructions to twist them. And they're a little bit tight, but you just twist them to the side. And then you pop him out. These little things will fall out because they stick underneath his feet. I'll show you. And then you just pull him out. He sits on pegs. There we go. So if you can see there, he sits on little pegs, and that kind of keeps him in if those things fail. But there's the bottom of his feet, so you can tell these things will lock into his feet as I just drop one, which is really, really interesting. You just twist it closed. But here is Luke Skywalker. He is very small with a very large head. The initial Mighty Muggs weren't quite so disproportionate, which I'll show you kind of a comparison to those in just a moment. But here is good old Luke, and I thought that he was really cute. I'm a big Luke Skywalker fan, so I do enjoy Luke products. Obviously, this is his farm boy getup, but it's actually a really dark gray. If you weren't looking closely, you might think it was his Bespin attire because that is gray. And this should be white, but that's okay, I guess. Really, really small body and a huge head, but I really like the detailing on his hair. I think it looks really good. Definitely vinyl, you can feel. The other parts, some parts might be plastic. The head is definitely plastic. And then he comes with a little lightsaber that is not removable. And then the newest feature that they've added to these Mighty Muggs is you can push down on their hair and their head switches. So it goes through 3 different faces, which is actually a really cool, I think, kind of novel thing. So he has like a really like angry, like fighting phase, a super happy phase, and then a kind of like a concerned look. I like the idea for these. I think it kind of adds the value to them maybe, but at the same time I think it really limits the type of characters that you can make. Say like a masked Kylo Ren or a masked Darth Vader, if they haven't already made one. I feel like it would be weird to make one that way. Also Mace Windu, because he's bald, so what are you going to do with his hair? I noticed the Chewbacca one looked a little bit like a werewolf because they had to have this hair piece that covered him, and it just didn't look super natural, which is why I didn't really pick him up first. I'll probably get a couple more of these just because I'm such a big Mighty Muggs fan, but it's kind of a novel idea. It might be more annoying to some people than novel. I think it was something that was not needed. These guys are only like $10 at the store, and they come with this plastic case, and they look pretty cool overall. But in comparison, here was an original Mighty Mugg. This one is Mace Windu, one that I've kept over the years because I really love Mace Windu. But his lightsaber actually is removable and the hilt's painted, so that's really cool. I loved that you could take off their accessories. It made it really neat. This one's just a plastic one. Later on in Mighty Muggs history, they started making them out of plastic instead of vinyl. But in comparison, they are a whole lot smaller. And this one was $10, I believe, at the time too. Don't you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not quite sure. I think it was around the same price. And so the Mighty Muggs have now completely shrunk. So they look very, very small, but this one is a lot heavier than this one currently. So that was just kind of something to keep in mind. Also with Mighty Muggs, before they went out of the original style, they did do mini mugs. And so these are super, super tiny versions of Mighty Muggs, if you can tell, which I showed. I had this, I don't even know if it's still a public video, but I did have these mini mugs and I was really excited when I found them. But compared to a new Mighty Mugg, they are not that much smaller. So if you even look at the body size, they're almost identical. They're very, very close. The new Mighty Mugg is a little bit bigger, I think. So, something to keep in mind. These came in a 3-pack, but anyways, and so we have like micro mugs. I think they were called micro mugs. Mini mugs, Mighty Mugg. And this one actually should have been called a medium mug, but whatever. So anyways, yeah, the styling and the styling is definitely very, very different. You have a much more animated, stylized look to the new ones than you did the old ones. The old ones just have a certain iconicness to them that these do not yet have. So we'll see. I'll probably buy just a few more because like I said, I like the Mighty Muggs and I kind of like the idea. I'm still going back and forth if I like the head spinning thing, but overall I think it's really good. I'm super happy that they brought the Mighty Muggs back in general, and I love the case that they come in. I do really, really enjoy that. So they're just quite a bit smaller. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts below. Did you collect the original Mighty Muggs, or are you into these? Do you think they're stupid? Let me know what you think, please, in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching my video, and stay tuned for more.